Sri Lanka possesses a very prominent place on earth because Mother Nature has been generous enough to bestow a bounty of all the necessary things and features upon Sri Lanka. One can experience different kinds of climatic conditions within this tiny island situated in the Indian Ocean. Apparently, our culture and traditions manifest a very close relationship with the environment. Whoever operates the development processes with a view to generating employment opportunities does an injustice to the environment rather than justice. As a result, the destruction caused to the environment is enormous. With the increasing pressure on coastal resources, the government took various initiatives, such as with the establishment of the Coast Conservation Department under the Ministry of Fisheries in 1978. In 1948, an international institution known as IUCN was established to work for the purpose of minimizing the harm caused to the ecosystem and to conserve it in every possible way. IUCN Sri Lanka also plays a prominent role in carrying out this undertaking. In spite of all this, the unexpected tsunami of the 26th of December 2004 struck the relatively narrow but long coastal area over 1,000 kilometers or 2/3 of the country's coastline. In Sri Lanka, the district of Ampara was very badly affected. The Ampara district is located in the eastern province of Sri Lanka. It is occupied by 3 communities: the Muslims, the Tamils and the Sinhalese. IUCN Sri Lanka Country Office has been implementing long-term environmental restoration projects, providing environmentally sound livelihood opportunities to those affected by the tsunami. It was in this context that IUCN Sri Lanka formulated the Post-Tsunami Ecosystem Restoration Project, or the PTERP, to be implemented in selected coastal divisions in the Ampara district, with financial support from the Canadian International Development Agency, or CIDA. This project consists of 2 major components: restoring the coastal ecosystems damaged by the tsunami, the enhancement of sustainable livelihoods. There were sub-components identified these 2 components: the restoration of coastal and lagoon ecosystems, coastal planting, avenue planting, the removal of invasive aquatic plants, and solid waste management. Sustainable livelihood development included home gardening, poultry rearing, rainwater harvesting, biogas, revolving loan funds, and sustainable aquaculture. Furthermore, necessary technical inputs and studies were carried out by the IUCN Sri Lanka. Our vision is to restore the ecological conditions of Periyakalapua by 2015.
IUCN has been working in Sri Lanka since the 80s, and our emphasis at the beginning was basically on forestry related areas like forest conservation, forest governance, and making forest management plans for the government. And since then we have diversified our efforts into a number of areas. And for example, in the last 10 years we have been working quite extensively on conservation of coastal resources.
The project area lies from Kalmunai to Panama in the Ampara district and includes mainly the Kalmunai lagoon mouth and coastal belt, the coastal belt of Akkaraipattu, Periyakalapua lagoon including the adjoining coastal belt of Alayadivanbu and Tirukkovil, the Palakuda lagoon in Tirukkovil, the Potthwil lagoon in Potthwil, and the Panama lagoon in Lahugala Divisional Secretariat's area. And these are the primary areas of the PTERP. Even before this disaster occurred, there had not been a proper garbage disposal management system within these areas, and that too came under this project. The pollution of coastal areas due to mismanagement of solid waste is one of the key issues in the area. Periyakalapur is the largest lagoon in the Ampara district. It has been selected as the major area for the project's implementation. The lagoon's natural water movement with the sea has been affected a few decades ago with the construction of causeways across its two openings. Natural lagoon dynamics involve letting the sea water exchange with the lagoon water and mix together. But this simple, natural process has been disrupted in Periyakalapur. Fishing is the main occupation of thousands of local dwellers living on the borders of the Periyakalapur lagoon. It is now under serious pressure. As a result of not maintaining sustainable incomes, most of the fishermen in the area have become victims of tsunami and have become desperately helpless. Tirukkovil and Alayadivambu areas in Ampara suffer from abject poverty, as other nearby areas also do. Due to the long drawn-out civil unrest, the people living in the coastal area have been undergoing numerous hardships and financial difficulties. As one organization alone could not deal with these diverse issues, the responsibilities had to be shared with other organizations working in the field with proper coordination. So Periyakalapur Local Coordinating Committee, or PLCC, was established under the chairmanship of the District Secretary of Tirukkovil. The PTERP Field Project Office was established right at the beginning of the project. This was the key to establishing a good relationship and ensuring the participation of the local people and agencies in the project's implementation. Responsibilities were given to the officials on the site to handle and coordinate programs, to suit the ground situation and address the needs of the local community in line with the broader project's objectives. And the PTERP has recently tested 2 pilot projects to culture fish in the lagoons: sea bass cage culture and pen culture. In Sri Lanka, these techniques are practiced in Palakuda Lagoon in the Ampara district. Prior to the introduction of these 2 methods, IUCN organized and obtained the services of some experts in the field to identify the suitable locations. The immediate expectation of the project is to develop and coordinate innovative community-based initiatives to restore ecosystems and to enhance sustainable livelihoods of vulnerable rural communities, with a particular focus on women affected by the tsunami in selected divisions of the Ampara district. So, under the Sustainable Livelihood Development Program, various activities such as home gardening, poultry rearing, rainwater harvesting and model home gardening have been introduced to improve the income of fisher families. Simultaneously, microloans were provided to fisher folk and women's societies to start new livelihood in order to divert the pressure from the lagoon's ecosystem. The Revolving Loan Fund is yet another program introduced under the PTERP to support the low-income families who may have been partly or fully engaged in fishing or extensive agricultural practices in the area. And as another facility, people living in the area have been provided with compost bins in order to minimize the accumulation of waste in the lagoon and in the waterways. Besides this, the project encourages the people to produce biogas by using domestic waste and waste from livestock. The project introduced the planting of Gliricidia. This versatile plant provides fodder for livestock, enriches the soil with nitrogen, and is a source of firewood and controls soil erosion. Of the 2 major components of the project, the first program that was launched for the purpose of upgrading the livelihood of the tsunami-affected people in the area has almost reached its desired target. At the same time, they have already started to restore the Kalmane Lagoon, which was severely affected by the tsunami. After cleaning the lagoon mouth by removing the debris, the lagoon dynamics has been restored, and currently the lagoon is being used for anchoring deep-sea boats. The proposed area of the coastal belt for conservation has already been restored, and the tree planting program has commenced. A solid waste management complex which has adequate facilities to manage waste properly and turn waste and produce manure is being constructed close to Akkarepattu town. The mangrove areas that were destroyed in the tsunami tidal waves are being re-established rapidly. The mangrove swamps in Panama have already grown to a considerable height and size. The PTERP realized that the first and the best way for this is to educate the adults while also educating the school-going children. In addition to the awareness programs, lots of books and magazines on biodiversity have been donated to the school libraries in the area, where this project is in operation. Periyakalapur Lagoon also will reach the climax of its development soon, as the beautiful Panama Lagoon is at present. The 2 stages of the project launched by the PTERP have come to their completion by now. These people living around the lagoon are very happy, as they have been able to improve their source of income to a much higher degree. This beautiful evening comes to its end with a song relieving the cares and worries of these people. The honor for this should go to CEDA and IUCN for ushering in this change. The sun will rise over the lagoon tomorrow, opening a fresh way for these people to tread. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself, said Chief Seattle in 1854.